Coming up on AgweekTV, new trade approvals will mean more tools in the toolbox for farmers in terms of weed management in upcoming seasons. North Dakota lawmakers consider a bill to protect farmers from fraud when they sell grain. And we'll find out how the Stop the Bleed program is saving lives in rural areas. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Michelle Rook. The government is back running at least until February 15th. USDA and Farm Service Agency offices are open nationwide and providing their full range of services. Reporting deadlines have been extended to February 14th for maturing marketing assistance loans and other farm programs, such as the Emergency Conservation, Livestock Indemnity, and non-insured crop disaster assistance programs, plus January reporting dates for fall planted small grains. The sign-up deadline for the Market Facilitation Program has also been pushed to February 14th. USDA is also slowly releasing weekly exports and will issue both the January and February WASDE reports on February 8th. That will help the markets and farmers plan for 2019.
Well, there's been a lot of reports have came out by now, and so the traders are kind of uneasy in where positions are and where these world stocks are coming in at.
The January 25th Cattle on Feed report will now be issued February 22nd and the inventory report on February 28th. The U.S. and China held high-level trade discussions in Washington, D.C. this week. China's vice premier proposed another meeting in China next month between President Trump and President Xi to help solve the trade dispute, as a wide gap remains between U.S. demands and what Beijing is willing to offer. In a tweet Thursday morning, President Trump indicated he's open to meeting and that no final deal will be made until the two leaders agree on some of the more difficult points. He also tweeted the meetings were going well. China recently approved 5 new genetically modified crops for import, the first biotech traits approved in 17 months. They include Chrome corn, RF3, and TrueFlex canola, plus MGI and Enlist E3 soybeans. All will provide farmers in the region some new options for weed management, but perhaps the product with the most interest has been the Enlist E3 soybeans. China recently approved 2 biotech soybean traits for import, including MGI soybeans and Enlist E3 soybeans.
They've got tolerance to the 2,4-D choline and Enlist herbicides, glyphosate, glufosinate, gives folks 3 modes of action.
The increased flexibility to spray any of these herbicides will help farmers control Roundup-resistant weeds and improve yield.
It's always good to have more tools in the toolbox, right? And so when we heard that those were approved in China, you know, that was a big win for us.
You know, you're going to have products, especially Liberty, does not have a problem with any weed resistance that are known. 2,4-D is a good combination to take care of some of our perennials that are hard to kill, like mare's tail, kochia.
Enlist E3 soybeans still need Philippine import approval, but there are companies ready to sell seed this season, like Stein.
We want to make sure we can get that Filipino approval. We're hoping yet by spring of 2019 we will have that, and then we'll go full scale, commercial-wide.
Peterson Farm Seed was already talking with growers excited about the technology at the Sioux Falls Farm Show.
We're confident that the approval will go through, and we're currently taking reservations on Enlist soybeans.
In Peterson, we'll have 11 Enlist varieties for 2019 with a great supply.
We've got a lineup from 008 to 2.4 maturities, and we've got enough supply that it might be a challenge selling them all.
However, Corteva is only expanding production in research plots in 2019.
We'll continue to increase production of Enlist E3 soybeans and look forward to the time when we can fully commercialize,
which is currently targeted for the 2020 growing season. The other benefit of the Enlist E3 system is it provides low drift and volatility for improved crop safety. Dry edible bean production could be overwhelmed this year by an acreage shift from soybeans and even corn tied to the ongoing fallout from the trade war. That was one message from speakers at the annual North Harvest Bean Growers Association meeting in Fargo. Rebecca Bratter with the U.S. Dry Bean Council says if soybean growers shift toward the much smaller dry bean market, supply could outpace demand. Mexico is one of the biggest trading markets for the U.S. dry beans, and there was uncertainty while NAFTA was being renegotiated.
Now we have a new agreement in place. Hopefully it'll be ratified and everything will be solid. We know that Mexico is going to need to buy quite a bit of beans this year.
The dry edible bean industry has also seen a big drop recently in exports to the European Union. North Dakota's Ag Commissioner says he's been getting a lot of calls from frustrated farmers who lost money to a roving grain buyer, and now the state legislature is getting involved. As many as 100 farmers could be out up to $6 million from bad checks written for grain by 21-year-old Hunter Hansen of Leeds, North Dakota. The Public Service Commission issued a cease and desist order against Hansen in December, and North Dakota lawmakers are looking at ways to better protect farmers. But Ag Commissioner Doug Goring says asking someone to be bonded or putting more money into an indemnity fund gives farmers a false sense of security. He says more accountability is needed. One bill being considered would shift those responsibilities from the PSC to the Ag Department.
Let's look at providing a service not only to the elevators, which is a better job of inventory and understanding that, but what it is to have a real understanding by the farmer as to what protections exist out there and what kind of oversight is being delivered.
Hansen is facing both criminal charges and civil lawsuits stemming from his grain businesses. He will make his first court appearance next week. Every minute counts after a farm emergency. Up next on AgweekTV, we'll tell you about a program training people to stop the bleed and save lives.
For home delivery of Agweek, log on to agweek.com or call 800-811-2580.
Make sure your farm equipment is season ready with an uptime inspection from your Titan Machinery service professionals. Titan Machinery's team of Case IH factory-trained service technicians has the knowledge and experience to find, correct, and prevent mechanical issues that could shut you down during the season. Your planting and harvest windows are short. For genuine Case IH parts and service, schedule an off-season uptime inspection at Titan Machinery today. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH dealer.
At Superior Grain Equipment, we're committed to quality and service, offering you the best in grain storage and dryers for any size operation. Our experts will work with you to determine the most efficient and economical storage solution for your needs. We help protect your bottom line and your future with the industry's best bins and warranties. Make the superior choice for protection today and tomorrow with Superior Grain Equipment.
Upgrade your trailer to electric with the Rolltech electric system from AgriCover. Strong, flexible pivot arms and motor mount rotate and telescope, allowing the roll tube to rise and flex over heaped loads. The positive automatic lock is impossible to back off to control the flow of grain. This integrated system uses one wireless remote to operate up to 10 tarps and hoppers, keeping your driver out of the dust, rain, and harm's way. See the Rolltech system in action at an AgriCover dealer near you.
Cattle ranchers choose us for our genetic excellence, our people-first approach to customer service, and our data-driven profitability. They say we were made for this. Come see for yourself. Join us for Top Hereford's Volume 19 production sale, February 8th at the ranch near Gray City, North Dakota. When you buy a Top Hereford's bull, you'll also get the added benefits of marketing your feeder cattle and replacement quality heifers direct. View the Volume 19 catalog at topherefords.com. Top Herefords, a common-sense approach to genetic excellence.
With the success of the Case IH Steiger Quad Track and Magnum Road Track tractors, it's no secret why Case IH is the leader of the track. So it wasn't surprising when the competition started imitating us. But only Case IH offers a 5-axle design to give you a smoother ride, more power to the ground, with less berming and compaction. Still, we're flattered. In fact, if we weren't already red, we'd be blushing.
Farming is a very dangerous occupation, and the danger is compounded by how long it can often take to get help. But a program called Stop the Bleed is teaching people how to save a life until emergency help arrives. It's this week's Ag Week magazine cover story. EMT Lucinda Nygaard-Lean has been training people of all ages in the program. She emphasizes that the sooner someone gets help, the better, because an ambulance can take 20 minutes to arrive in rural areas.
Because 10 to 20 minutes is all it would take for somebody to bleed to death. And so if you can stop their bleeding, You have just made it possible for an EMT and a paramedic to get them quickly to a hospital, and treatment has already started. The sooner treatment happens, the better off it is for somebody.
Joining us in studio to talk more about Stop the Bleed is Dr. Mary Alland, and this is such a critical program. We can't even emphasize how critical.
That's right. This is a program that was initiated about 2 years ago through the American College of Surgeons with pre-hospital care providers and our military. That after the Sandy Hook disaster, where the children and the teachers all died, they realized we need to start teaching non-medical personnel how to stop the bleed.
So why is this program so important for rural areas?
Because there is a shortage of hospitals and physicians and care across the rural areas, especially what's been happening in the last 10 to 15 years. And so therefore we need to initiate this stopping of the bleeding right there at the beginning with non-medical people if we're ever going to start saving lives.
How do we get more communities? How do we get more individuals involved in the program?
Well, I think first and foremost we have to make everybody aware of that we are living in dangerous times, not only because of our occupations, farming, ranching, mining, all high-risk injury-laden occupations. Then the next step is that can we prevent some of these deaths? And clearly, if we have forward units, meaning the citizens that know how to put on a tourniquet, how to pack a wound, then even before the pre-hospital care providers come, we can probably save some lives. That is what our goal is for our state.
Is that training difficult?
No, I mean, so far I've taught, the youngest person I've taught is a 5-year-old, and she did very, very well, all the way up to 92. And it basically is you teach the concepts, and so you don't have to know the anatomy and the physiology. You just have to know it's bleeding, and it's bleeding a lot. And then you give 2 or 3 tools to stop the bleeding: your hands, a tourniquet, and how to pack the wound. And no matter, you could have absolutely zero medical training, these are skill sets that will be taught and will stay with you for the rest of your life.
I'm sure we have folks that are watching that want to get involved. How do they get more information?
Well, the information is on the website, as well as you can call our office. I'm with the University of North Dakota Rural Surgery Department, and our goal is to teach as many communities as possible and then have local champions filter it out so that we can teach everybody in North Dakota how to stop the bleeding.
Well, we thank you so much. Appreciate having you in the studio today, Dr. Mary Alland with Stop the Bleed. Coming up on AgweekTV, South Dakota's new governor makes agriculture a budget priority. And later, NDSU gears up for the annual Little Eye.
For corn and soybean farmers, it's been a challenging year. So join us as we look towards the future and make sense of international trade at the 2nd Annual Northern Corn and Soybean Expo, featuring speakers Mark Mayfield and Chip Flory, with breakout sessions, free breakfast, lunch, and a large corn and soybean trade show. You don't want to miss the 2nd Annual Corn and Soybean Expo, Tuesday, February 12th at the Fargo Dome.
How can one tillage tool handle most field conditions, residue types, and tillage practices? It takes a Renegade, the Summers VRT Renegade. Switch from vertical to aggressive tillage and anywhere in between. Adjust blade angles, tillage depth, and more on the go, all from an iPad. Get the tillage results you want, like only the Summers VRT Renegade can. For more information or a demo, contact your Summers dealer.
At Kenner Simmental Ranch, we've been offering precision genetics and exceptional customer service in the beef industry for more than 40 years. From power bulls to calving ease bulls, our balanced EPDs and performance produce docility that truly satisfies our producers and consumers. Come see for yourself on February 9th at the Kenner Ranch for our annual production sale. We'll be offering 129 black and red, Simmental and Sim Angus and Red Angus bulls, plus 65 red heifers. Kenner Simmentals, the best in beef from pasture to plate.
With the all-new GreenFit system from Ricard, plug and play is finally a reality when using John Deere AutoTrack guidance with existing new products like the Challenger 1000 series or all-new C-Series row gators from Butler Machinery. GreenFit is an authorized navigation interface that utilizes the existing John Deere AutoTrack guidance system to steer most Challenger tractors and sprayers. GreenFit eliminates the worry of learning and converting to a new steering system when buying an industry-leading Challenger from Butler Machinery. Learn more about GreenFit at butlermachinery.com.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Agriculture is a cornerstone of South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem's first state budget. Noem shared details at South Dakota Corn's annual meeting and talked about the reorganization she's done, moving the Ag Development Division out of the Department of Ag into the Office of Economic Development.
We're also giving the Secretary of Agriculture more authority in GOED. So there'll be more opportunities for the Department of Ag to dictate and to talk and to work cooperatively with GOED.
She says this will help the state develop shovel-ready sites for ag businesses, processing facilities, and livestock operations that want to expand. South Dakota Congressman Dusty Johnson took Governor Noem's position in Washington, D.C., and he'll be representing the state on the House Ag Committee. In this role, his goal is to get the new farm safety net and risk management programs in the 2018 Farm Bill available for farmers as soon as possible.
And the Farm Bill is a very good farm bill for South Dakota and for farm and ranch country. So I think the first, second, and third priority for the Ag Committee is make sure that it gets implemented properly.
Beyond that, Johnson is pushing for a quick resolution of the trade war with China and for new bilateral trade agreements. Grain farmers produce feed grains for livestock production, but the manure produced by those animals can be recycled and used on the next crop. John Brecker is a soil scientist. At a recent meeting of the North Dakota Livestock Alliance, he discussed the value of manure. Brecker says it can substitute for commercial fertilizer to cut expenses or improve soil quality and nutrient management. And he says some of the stigma of manure can be mitigated.
There's always concerns about environment and especially odor losses. Especially for dairy or swine operations, it's often a liquid manure, and we can actually inject it below the soil surface to limit nutrient loss and also odors that get spread down to your neighbors.
Brecker says in some areas there also is a concern about manure loading too much phosphorus into the soil, but North Dakota soils are naturally very low in that nutrient. And here's John with our agri-weather outlook.
Weather portion of Ag Week now. The really frigid temperatures we had this past week across the Great Lakes area, not well forecast very far in advance. They're usually not. But that pattern is relaxing just a bit, though. The weather's still relatively cold. We are getting a little bit of a reprieve, not necessarily from winter, just from those really cold temperatures and wind chills. But you'll notice as we go through the week, some of that frigid and very cold weather will be building back through into the northern plains. It will not be as cold as last week, but we still have plenty of below freezing and sub-freezing and sub-zero weather to come this way. As we spread this into the second week of the forecast, February 10th through 16th, pattern shift will take place. That's not going to help us all that much. The main ingredient is the northern branch of the jet will begin to weaken, the southern branch will start to take over, and that will allow some of that really cold weather to kind of head back up into central Canada. So this very active precipitation pattern we have this week with one system after another will keep things in the Great Plains and Midwest very active with rain, snow, and ice systems, perhaps 2 or 3 storms around the region this week. I think by the weekend, things will start to kind of settle down again. That's as this northern branch of the jet weakens, southern branch gets stronger, which means the southern branch will be responsible for stormy weather in mid-February, maybe one clipper coming out of the north, but that's going to put the focus of precipitation mostly into the eastern U.S. by the mid part of February. So the overall outlook is out with one kind of Arctic cold and in with another, but the second round will not be as cold as the first round. Systems beginning to come more from the southwest, so it still does look fairly wet. And the aforementioned promised warm-up in February will probably have to take until around the middle of the month before it takes.
Ag Week is excited to bring you the Ag Week app with useful features and the latest news and information right at your fingertips. Get your Ag Week news, weather, and the latest episodes of AgweekTV. Plus, see real-time information on the futures market and view local cash bids for your crops. Stay updated and take Ag Week with you wherever you are. Download the Ag Week app today.
When harvest comes around, time is precious and you don't have a moment to waste. Northstar Ag offers the Lofness GrainLogix Grain Bag Loader to deliver versatile grain storage performance load after load. Lofness's user-friendly grain baggers are easy to load and unload, perfect to get your harvest in the bag. Northstar Ag also sells a variety of Valmar spreaders, the leader in air boom delivery, and is a full-service Meridian hopper bin dealer. Visit NorthstarAg.com to see our complete new and used equipment inventory or give us a call.
Steffes. We have representatives everywhere. Through North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota, we can find a buyer for what you are selling. We know how to market your farmland or equipment. Give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way.
Nothing holds more promise than a seed. And when it comes from Peterson Farm Seed, it's backed with a promise from us. We'll sell no seed we wouldn't be happy to plant on our own farm, so that growers like Mark can keep a promise of his own, to teach his kids how to care for the land, their family, and their community, and build a future that extends generations. Grow your promise. Grow Peterson Farm Seed. Big Boy Toys.
The largest student-run organization at NDSU is Saddle and Sirloin with 300 members, and they host the longest-standing tradition on the NDSU campus, the Little International. Katie Pinky shares more from Shepherd Arena in Fargo.
Joining me now is Anna Lem of Hillsboro, North Dakota. She's the 93rd Little International Queen. So what is the event?
Yeah, so the 93rd Little International is a livestock show. And what students get is they can get assigned an animal that we have here at NDSU, and they get to work with that animal for about a month. And then they come back and they'll present in front of the judge and show off their showmanship skills.
Any student can show an animal?
Any student, any major, any background.
And who is this put on by?
So this is put on by the NDSU Saddle and Sirloin Club. We're actually NDSU's largest student organization.
Saddle and Sirloin is open to non-agriculture students as well as agriculture students.
And that's what I think is so great, is because, you know, we can have people who are engineering majors from Minneapolis who can show a dairy heifer, or we can have, in fact, our student body vice president is showing a pig. Never been around agriculture, never been around livestock, and so I think that's really cool.
Casey Keister, you are the manager of the 93rd Little International. How many people will be showing at the Little I?
We'll have 130 NDSU students that will be showing on February 9th in this arena. They'll show a beef heifer, dairy heifer, pig, or sheep, and they also have the opportunity to give a public speech or cure a ham.
You have been in Saddle and Sirloin since you were a freshman. Tell us how it's helped prepare you in your major and for your future career.
The Saddle and Sirloin Club is full of a bunch of unique opportunities. You'll make friends that really help you strengthen your own weaknesses and really help you build your character, and you can also work together to help promote animal husbandry on this campus.
Animal husbandry is not a term that is often talked about, even at a land-grant university. Tell us, what is animal husbandry?
Animal husbandry is what farmers and ranchers are out doing every day. They are out there in this bitter cold, in the heat of the summer, making sure that those livestock are cared for and living a very high quality of life.
Why should people come out in the cold on Saturday, February 9th to the Little International?
We have something for everyone. MCs and pooper scoopers that are going to be telling jokes all day, and we have contestants that will be showcasing their skills that they've worked on for 10 years, and some that just picked up these skills a few weeks ago. We have stuff for the kids for our boot scramble and other interactions for the crowd, and you really get to see the essentially celebration of the 93rd Little International here on campus.
Still ahead on AgweekTV, why the Jackrabbits are celebrating pork.
Field Drainage Inc. has perfected the art of agricultural drainage by helping hundreds of farmers since 1978. We are a second-generation family-owned business for over 35 years. The Field Drainage Inc. team will work closely with you to conduct a thorough analysis of your needs and expectations, provide an estimate that fits your budget, perform all work in a timely and professional manner, and provide continued service after installation. Field Drainage Inc., your trusted drain tile installation company for over 35 years.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
Advanced Grain Handling is your regional dealer for grain handler dryers, bins, and accessories. With Grain Handler's continuous mixed flow drying systems, you're capable of high levels of grain dryer efficiency on all types of grain, including seed grain. Advanced Grain Handling also carries West Steel's quality stainless steel products for on-farm and commercial grain storage solutions. Advanced Grain Handling has licensed and trained service techs and a licensed electrical shop. Get a hold of Chad Kylo to find the perfect solution for your farm.
Get ready for the biological revolution. AgZyme by Ag Concepts is the leading biological soil enhancement product on the market today. AgZyme improves soil health and fertilizer efficiency for healthier crops and better yields.
Definitely is making a difference. I really feel that it gives me a bump in the soybeans and corn. I would say 55 up to 70 bushel soybeans. We've even had as high as 75. Probably the best bang for your buck.
Join the biological revolution with AgZyme by Ag Concepts.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Ag Week magazine. Reaching over 70,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Ag Week provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. Ag Week. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
Pigs are big in South Dakota, and the 47th Annual Pork Classic at SDSU celebrates that. The event is used to generate money for student scholarships, with more than $14,000 raised. It is also a recognition of the huge economic impact pork production makes in the state.
It brings a lot of attention to the swine industry, one of the most rapid growing industries in South Dakota. And then secondly, the proceeds that we get from the barbecue as well as the bundle sales go to scholarships for young people interested in the future in pork production.
The Pork Classic was held in conjunction with the SDSU basketball doubleheader against Omaha last weekend. Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgweekTV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or download the AgWeek app. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We'll see you next week.